Hey guys, it's Mrs. Pickett. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about fractions and how you can figure out how to put them in the right order. So this is hopefully not going to be too long of a video, and it's just kind of building on what we already know about fractions. So let's just take a minute and review some of the things we already know. First of all, what do you call the bottom number of your fraction? Hopefully you said your denominator, and the top number is your numerator. So here I have a bunch of different fractions, and we know, hopefully if you remember from class, the bigger the piece is, the smaller the bite is kind of like what I want to say. So if I had 1/12, my piece of my chocolate bar is going to be much smaller than if I had 1/2. If I had 1/2, I'd have half of the thing. So it's kind of opposite of what when you think about regular digits, your numbers are going to be, the bigger the number, the smaller the piece. So if I was going to put these fractions in order from least to greatest, which fraction would come first? Hopefully you said 1/12, because that's the smallest piece. 12, when I have 12 pieces instead of 2 or 10 or 5 or 6, my piece is going to be super small. So that's going to be the least smallest fraction I have. Then hopefully you thought 1/10, 1/6, 1/5, and 1/2. So like I said, it's almost backwards from what we're used to. Okay, so another way you can kind of figure out in what order to place your fractions in, again, let's go from least to greatest. But I want you to really think about, like I said before, the bottom number is going to be really important to the order of your numbers. However, you have to be careful, because if your top number is different, you really need to draw yourself a picture of fraction strips so that you can really visually see which one is greater than, less than, or equal to. So in this situation, because our numerator is 5 in all three of our fractions, it doesn't, the denominator is going to go off that rule of the bigger the number, the smaller the piece. So again, we're going to have 5/12, 5/10, and 5/6. But again, what if your top number was different every time? Your numerator and your denominator were different. So if I had 2/3, 5/8, and 6/12. Let's use those three fractions as an example. So what I would do in this situation, because my numerator is not the same, I can't really just look at my denominator and know the smaller or the bigger piece, because each one is giving me a different amount of that whole. So I'm going to draw a picture, just like I showed you in our last video. And I'm going to make it so that each fraction equally lines up. So my first one would be 2/3. I'm going to do 5/8 and then 6/12. So my first fraction bar is going to be separated into thirds. My second will be separated into eighths. And my fourth is going to be separated, or my third, excuse me, is going to be separated into 12ths. All right, so now I'm just going to shade. So let me shade these guys in. So there's 1/3, 2/3, 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So which is the smallest fraction? Hopefully you said 6/12. Then we had 5/8, and finally 2 2/3. So in this case, going off the denominator would have worked, but I'm really glad that I drew a picture because I wasn't totally sure who was bigger, 2/3 or 6/12, or even 5/8. So that picture really helped me visually see which one was bigger. Let's do one more just like that. So we're going to do 9/10, 1/4, and 5/12. Again, I'm going to draw myself 3 fractions. Nine tenths, 1/4, and 5/12. So my first one needs to be separated into 10 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. My second is 4ths. And my third is 12ths. Okay, now I need to shade 9 up here. Let's change colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1/4, and 5/12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this situation, who is smallest? What's 1/4? And then 5/12, and finally 9/10. So as you can see, this would be a much better example of what happens when your bottom number isn't going to determine what order it's going to be in. So I guess what I really need you to hear me saying is when you have to compare or order fractions, always draw a picture. Okay, until you get really comfortable with your fractions, drawing a picture is going to be really, really helpful. Okay, so I'm going to have you do one on your own, and then we will talk about this when we get to class tomorrow. All right, thank you guys so much, and have a fabulous night. Talk to you later. Okay, so your joke for today is, why was the strawberry so sad? See you soon.